Hi, so this is a video about how I believe that the piano was constructed, why it's in the format that it is, regarding the black keys and the white keys. In my opinion, I may be wrong, but I think that given that these three black notes are clumped together, and these two are clumped together, yeah, in this way, which repeats up and down the keyboard, um, it, it's very interesting that for someone who cannot see, so it's a blind person, it is because of this, the way it's like this, it's possible to play with your eyes closed very easily. Now, what I mean by that is and you can try it yourself. Close your eyes, you put your hands on the keys, you can find where the clump of three is and the clump of two is, yeah, just by feeling it around, okay? Um, And the reason that I think that it was made basically in this format is because with your eyes closed, you can see how a blind person would find it possible to play because you can navigate using those three clumps of three and clumps of two. That's one remark to be made. Another remark to be made is that it just so happens that the one very aesthetically pleasing sort of piece you can play, in which involves both black notes and white notes in a very distinct way, is and it sounds like jazz. It's got a sort of atonal feel in a sense of jazz. So it makes me think of somebody like I can't remember his name now, but there was Thelonious Monk. He has his sort of playing or other jazz composers like him. I can't remember the name of the other one, but it has that kind of atonal feel to it. If you play on the white notes using any formation really with your left hand, and I find it especially works when two white notes are together, played either with these two fingers, a thumb and forefinger, or the fourth and fifth finger, and then another note. Okay, so for example, that, yeah. And then the right hand will do the white note, any white keys pattern. Okay, and then I'll try it with, I was doing that with fourth and fifth finger, now I'll try with thumb and first finger. And now maybe I'll try with alternating white notes, so using all my fingers with a note in between each one. Now I'll try putting my whole palm down. Okay, now you may say that doesn't sound great, but then what can really bring out the atonality of that in an aesthetic way is if you then go to the black notes and using those clumps of three and two, you can play all this with your eyes closed. Remember, you find where there's a clump of two, so therefore you know that the clump of three is next to it, and you start with your little finger on the G flat, will be the first of the black notes, and then you just go over to the next G flat with your thumb and put a note in the middle, perhaps D flat, yeah. And then you'll find with your right hand the same clump of three, yeah, there's a clump of two, don't want that really, start on the clump of three, and you start on the white note, you just slide your thumb down there, and having played the left hand, maybe as an arpeggio, you then start on that white note, and then you've got these three black notes. Okay, and then do it again, do some sort of pattern, back to the white note on F, and then cross over to the G, to the E flat, and again, back to the F. Left hand goes up one note to the A flat octave, again, with a note in the middle, maybe E flat. The same sort of pattern on the right hand. Again. And then up to the B flat with the left hand, little finger, and the thumb going up to the next B flat. Maybe put in the F, the white F with your forefinger of your left hand. Okay. Do it again. Okay, and then back to the A flat. There I went down to the D flat. And just all of the black notes with the right hand, but also the F white note. And it sounds very good. And then after that, you have make sure you have a long pause before you go back onto the white keys. Yep. You can see how it sounds very good. The contrast between what is essentially the D flat major scale, which you're using on the black note, because it includes the F, the F natural, the white on F. Also includes the C natural. Here as well as that. So I didn't talk about it just then, but also uses the the white C if you want. Okay. So it sounds extremely pleasing, and it's possible to play for someone who's blind, which I think is a very important thing. I think it was an important thing in the sort of creation of the piano or the organ, or the harpsichord, as it was many hundreds of years ago. And one last thing I'd like to say is that isn't it interesting that that the only notes which are very easy to find, which are not black notes, the right hand, in the D flat major, the black part that I showed you, are the F and the C, okay, and maybe the E, because that's also very easy to find, and the B natural, the E natural, the B natural, the C natural, and the F natural. Those four notes, especially obviously the F natural and the C natural, but also the B natural and the E natural, they can be they also fit into that into the scale of the D flat major scale, and they are also easy to find with the thumb, and well, because of the groupings of the two blacks and three blacks, black note, black keys, and so it's just remarkable. What doesn't sound any good at all is the D natural, which is in between these two, or the G natural, the A natural, because they're difficult to find and they don't sound good. So let me just show you that. Okay? Let me just play it how I mean it. I'll play it with the beginning sort of I'll call it the A minor white key part, the A tone, I call it part. Chet Baker was the other jazz composer I was thinking of. Chet Baker, Thelonious Monk. That's sort of atonal sound. Okay, now I'm going to go on to this. So I'm going to start as I always do on the G flat, but I could start on the D flat or the E flat. I'll start on the B flat. I just want to show you what it sounds like to put a G natural or an A natural or a D natural. You'll hear them when I play them because they will sound bad. There. It sounds wrong. And this. There's the G natural. Sounds wrong, doesn't it? There. The D natural. It sounds wrong. And isn't that interesting? That D natural, the G natural, and the A natural are all not so easy to find with for a blind person. So that's a very interesting idea. Thank you very much. So this is my understanding of why the piano is laid out in the manner that it is. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.